What's going on, my fellow gamers? E3 was amazing this year, and I couldn't wait to talk about it. So here are my top 10 games from the press conference that we saw. We have a lot to talk about and a lot to cover, so lay back, relax, and enjoy this video. Our first video and 10th on my list is ReCore. An Xbox exclusive, ReCore is an awesome new game set in what looks like to be a post-apocalyptic world. With complex artificial intelligent robots, or corebots, you, the protagonist, a female protagonist named Jules, one of the few humans or maybe last humans left on Earth, are accompanied by these robots as they help you traverse and fight for the dynamic world. The game tackles both fun arcade shooting and some puzzling. You can use both your guns and corebots to help you. From what I heard, the game is not very easy. In fact, it's actually a challenge. So you'll definitely have to be aware of what you're doing, and also you have to utilize everything you have. There's no cover system, so you'll constantly be on the move, avoiding enemy attacks, while our bots help you in multiple different ways. The orbs, or cores, play a big role, because each one is said to hold the conscience of your companions. So even if he, or she, or it gets destroyed, its core still remains, and you can transfer it into another robot body, which is really neat. There also seems to be a lot of different robot bodies, so you could definitely choose from a wide selection, and you'll be able to adapt to many different situations. The cores seem to be a very important part of the game, the blue ones being good guys and the red ones being bad. And from what we saw, you'll be able to have multiple companions. We're not sure if the red orbs can become good guys and help you along, but we'll see how it goes. There will be lots of dynamic weather and many options how to survive in the hostile desert world, which is really awesome and looks beautiful. And I just want to get an Xbox right now just because of this game. This game looks awesome. I can't wait. Next on my list is Watch Dogs 2. Marcus Holloway is our new character we will be playing in Watch Dogs 2. And this time, we will be playing in San Francisco, in a more technologically advanced city. Unlike Aiden Pierce, Marcus is part of DedSec, and their purpose is to take on the establishment. Corruption and politics are a concern in this one, which is really cool and was definitely a good direction to go in. It makes sense, it's something we deal with in our lives today, our real lives. The hacking seems to have a lot more options in the environment, with gathering info and even using special devices to gather intel with. They're doing multiplayer in the game again, but nothing like co-op, just being able to invade people's games again. Which is cool, don't get me wrong, and it's a fun novelty, but from the last game it died off pretty quickly. So I don't see much in that. From my perspective, gunplay in the game doesn't seem to be as emphasized in this one. Which makes sense, but it's definitely not gone. But for all we know, it will be as present as it was in the last game. But this time, I kind of question it. The game seems to depend more on stealth and parkour, which is great, but I do love how the guns work in the game. So that was one of my favorite things of the last game, actually. But besides that, I actually really loved the first game. So I feel like if they are improving on this one, and listening to the people's complaints, it seems that this will improve a lot off the first one. So let's see how it works out. Titanfall 2 is next, and it's coming out on all platforms this time, from the PS4 to the Xbox One to PC, I believe. We're getting it everywhere. Also, this time we get single player too, which is great to hear when so many games are just having multiplayer. The single player looks awesome, with a cool companion, Titan. He seems so cool and lovable, and actually useful. I mean, you might want to have a giant mech battle, so he seems pretty useful. It also showed him launching players at cool ramps and stuff like that, so that was pretty cool. I have a feeling he will be 2016's favorite companion / follower. But moving on to the multiplayer, it looks savage as fuck. The mech battles and the destruction from the exchanges of different types of explosive blows, it just looked so satisfying. In multiplayer you have the classic wall running, but also the extreme air stunts with the grappling hooks. But the grappling hook is just one of the abilities, and apparently you only get one ability. I guess so that's so people aren't so OP, they don't have everything in their arsenal. But I don't really find that a bad thing. Everyone will have their own unique, different style or skill to help out the team. Which developers said they want. They want team play and teams to work together, which is great to hear because I love that. The massive amount of things you could do and the vast options for combat gave me the girl giggles. Being prominently a PlayStation owner, I never got to experience Titanfall until now, and I'm just so excited for October 28th with the cool, awesome stuff coming out for this game. I just can't wait to get my hands on it and have a great time. Dishonored 2 coming in stealthy on our next part of our list. I love stealth games, and my friend told me this game is awesome for stealth. And if I'm gonna be stealthing, I guess I should play this game. So yes, I never played Dishonored, but I plan on actually doing a playthrough on my channel. So I can share my experience of the first one, and also I can prepare myself for the second one. Other than that, the game seems pretty challenging. Playing as either the main male character from the last game, Corvo Otano, or Emily Calduin, who was actually in the previous game as well, but you couldn't play as her because I believe she was a young girl. I guess I'm gonna have to play the game for the first time and see which game, like, if I'm more comfortable with just sticking with Corvo or moving on to Emily and trying her out. The game's powers look awesome and complex, which I really like. It seems like each encounter takes thought, especially with a time mechanism that helps you traverse through times, which means you could actually assassinate somebody in the past while you're in the present, or maybe the opposite. I don't know, I'm a little confused by it myself. And I'm sure it'll boggle your mind too, because from what I've seen, the powers are just crazy, and it takes a lot of thought. But from what the dev said, that you could take your time, you're not in any rush, so go ahead, take a minute, and just think everything out. I'm sure as you progress, you will learn how to use the powers more efficiently. There are also factions in the game. You could choose to join or not to join one. Each one is in a gray area, so basically, there isn't a good or bad. I mean, there might be one that seems worse to you, but either way, none of them are good or bad. One of them might offer a benefit, so that's good. You might want that benefit over that benefit, but if anything, you don't have to join anything. So that's pretty cool that they give you total complete options. There will be also more abilities to traverse different parts of the game, such as the rooftops. Weather and light will affect visibility, and of course, from what I saw, lots of stealth. But besides the stealth, the game seems to have very bad combat, seems clunky, but when you stab somebody in the back, it seems pretty fluent. Days Gone, a PlayStation exclusive, is next on our list. But let's get something straight, it's not a zombie game. From what the developers say, they're actually called Freakers. Transformed by a virus, they are still living and breathing. They both eat, sleep, and are basically feral. So kinda like I Am Legend. But also like World War Z, because the hordes are enormous. But then you have this dude who's a biker, and he's a bounty hunter. So I guess he's a mix between Daryl Dixon and Dog the Bounty Hunter. But then he looks like James Franco, mixed with the main character from the Star Wars game Force Unleashed, Starkiller. So yeah. Anyways, the amount of freakers that could be on the screen are insane. It just shows the progress game developers are making in better games. Which means different things can happen according to what you do, or even what the freakers decide to do. Each playthrough will be different for everyone in this open world game, which is really impressive, and it gives you a lot to think about of what you're going to do next. Daytime is feeding time, so the freakers will be out during the daytime, and nighttime is when they choose to sleep, so you better be more quieter during the nighttime so you can get around easier. And when it's daytime, they won't be as angry, but at nighttime, if you wake those fuckers up, they will fuck you up. Like I said before, freakers can decide to do something, and it could get in your way. Freakers have a mind of their own. Let's say, for example, you're on your bike, you're riding somewhere on the highway. A horde can literally come in your way and affect your entire outcome of what you were trying to do. Using your skills as a biker / bounty hunter, you're gonna have to use your environment, your guns, your bike to get out of these tough situations. Even a piece from a car was used as like a silencer for the gun, so I guess the freakers wouldn't hear them. Which I gotta say, it's just cool. It just shows you'll be able to pick things out and use them. I just have to say bravo on this, because even though this may be all the cliches and just a mix of some of our favorite types of things, it hasn't been done. I just can't wait to get in these tough situations and have to fight my way out of huge hordes of zombies. I mean, hold on, freakers. My bad. Horizon Zero Dawn is an open-world post-apocalyptic game. Yes, I know we heard this so many times, but just give me a minute, okay? Take a look at it. You play a mean female character. Okay, maybe this does sound like a game we were just talking about, but if anything, Horizon Zero Dawn showed it first, so I don't know if they were doing it first. They showed it first, though. Anyways, the main character's name is Aloy. I get it. From a person who never seen this game, you probably will be in awe, because in Horizon Zero Dawn, it just looks very different from anything we've ever seen. In a world where machines have dominated the human race, and when man has to go back to the hunting and gathering age. Yes, this is actually after the post-apocalyptic world of Horizon Zero Dawn. So I guess it's post. Meaning nature is back, and robots are now like animals. Which is cool, and it's weird. It just catches your eye, and if you watch this from last year's E3, it was just crazy. From what has been shown, you are able to gather parts from these robotic organisms, I guess you would say, and you build all types of cool ammunition to fight your way through where you need to go, or whatever beast you have to take down, or whatever maybe you have to save somebody. What's really cool and new is that they show that you can actually mount some of the steel bots and ride them. And there's more than one type you could just ride, so there's like multiple different types of four-legged creatures, I guess. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's going to be maybe there's going to be a pogo stick you could ride. I don't know, man. But that's pretty cool. From the people who made the Killzone games, I expect the combat will be very good and very unique and different. But this is so different from what they have done, so it is very surprising to see them move on from their hit futuristic shooter to this. But it's great to see a company take risk and go into different genres. It gives us beautiful games like this, and it should be held as an example of how to be creative and why games should be appreciated as art. I can't wait to start scavenging bot beasts I slain and going out into a lush world of wonder and excitement that is Horizon Zero Dawn. At the current time, we know Horizon Zero Dawn will be out February 2017. Swinging in next on our list is SpiderMan game by Insomniac. This shouldn't really be any surprise, but it's a PlayStation exclusive simply because Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. You've probably seen their amazing lineup of different Spider-Man movies Sony has come out with. JK, there's only like 2, and they both pretty much weren't that good. So I'm really begging and hoping this game will be good, because I believe if there's something Sony can do right, it's games. And giving it into the hands of Insomniac seems like it will finally give us a good Spider-Man game. We haven't really had a good Spider-Man game in a while. You could argue never, but I believe the Spider-Man game on Nintendo 64 was actually pretty good. But then again, I was 6 when I played it, so yeah. The game is an open world, super cool superhero fighting game. I really do have a good feeling about this. I feel like this could be the next superhero game that compares to the Batman games. The fighting looks impressive, the graphics are beautiful, and from what I heard from the last game, they actually got the web slinging right. So maybe they took some notes from that, and they're gonna put that in this game. Also, you can see lots of connections between the Marvel movies and this game, as shown in some of the small Easter eggs in the trailer, like the eye adjustment. Also, you'll be playing a more mature, older Peter Parker, so it won't be an introduction story. This game will dive right into the universe, even though there's still more for Peter Parker to learn. So it seems the story will be tight, and hopefully we'll see a lot more villains and superhero cameos, and I would also like to see more Spider-Man suit options. Also, Stan Lee cameo is a must. Bombs Away Battlefield 1 is next on our list. In this new Battlefield game that listens to its fans and became an old Battlefield game by going back in time to the World War I era, I am glad to hear massive destruction is once again a thing. It seems like most everything is destructible, instead of some things. From tanks going through buildings, artillery fire and giant air balloons hitting and crashing into the ground, to the chaos of this awesome game. It's just hype. It's good hype. Don't let us down. Come on, man. Don't let us down. The new map you see while you're setting up your class and deciding where you want to go shows real-time action in-game on a 3D scale map. And as soon as you decide to spawn in, it zooms you right into the battlefield, and right away you're in the action playing as a soldier. It is really fluent, and it definitely improves on what they did in the previous games. but I feel like the mechanic would have done better in more modern day shooters or maybe in a futuristic shooter. Taking in the fact that we didn't know much since we didn't have much technology back then. But regardless, I will take it, I love it, I'll shut my trap and not complain about it. The classes in the game go as the following. The Assault class, which is provided with plenty of explosives, frags, mines, etc. The Support class has a lot of automatic weapons, which seem to be very popular favored in the multiplayer show. Medic will have stuff to heal teammates and revive them, obviously. And the Scout class will have their snipers, but they will also have special devices to disable vehicles, which is pretty cool. I don't know how to feel about them yet, but I guess we'll see more about them in the future. There will also be tank classes and pilot classes as well. There are light, medium, and heavy tanks. Lighter tanks hold less people and heavy tanks handle more. But be cautious when you're using a tank because you're a big target and there's target damage now. And basically what that means is they can target different parts of the tank, like the treads, and if they target the treads, you won't be able to move any longer. But on the other hand, you could do that to other people too, so basically, it looks like I won't be having to play World of Tanks anymore. Besides tanks, you have horses, the planes, the motorcycles, and of course, the blimps, or the airships. The blimps are supposed to be very useful. Whether you need to make a turnaround, or you just want to take the final blow on the enemy, they're supposed to be really useful. They are also really bulky and big, so once you start turning that baby, you're going to want to make sure you're going in that direction. Also, be careful, because I'm pretty sure if that thing goes down, you won't get another one for a while. So, yeah. And once one goes down, actually, it'll essentially become part of the map, which is really cool. No matter where it lands, it can land anywhere, and it'll essentially just have all the scraps all around the map laying down. And I guess that could help with some cover and stuff like that. And none of it is scripted. Nothing, especially weather, which can affect a lot of things. Weather can range from rain, fog, or sunshine. The difference could change the vehicles you ought to use rather than you like to use, or the class you want to use, but really you should be using that class. Or maybe you should be doing something else. You aren't going to be laying back sniping in some building 200 meters away from the objective while it's foggy. Come on, guys. Goddamn blueberries. Damn you, blueberries. Damn you to hell. Also, try to sign up for the beta if you can. It should be happening later this summer, so definitely check that out. The game is officially releasing October 21st, 2016, but if you have EA access, not on PlayStation, but on Xbox One, you will probably get it earlier. Also, yeah, EA's, access is not on PlayStation, so sorry, PlayStation guys. Ghost Recon, set in a modern time Bolivia, is a tactical third-person open-world military shooter. I am a huge fan of the Ghost Recon games, even though they weren't always the best. The premise of the universe and the idea behind it always won me over. Ubisoft says this is their largest open-world game yet. And for those of you who do not know, this is the first open-world Ghost Recon game. Not only is it open world, but it's also co-op. Hopefully the co-op is better than their past co-op games like Assassin's Creed Unity. But come on, this is Tom Clancy game. They wouldn't fuck this up. Right? Nah, they won't. I mean, look at Rainbow Six Siege. It has good service, right? In the gameplay showcase, we see many options of how to do things. From capturing the target for intel or killing him just to kill him, going in loud or silent, you might have to go on the chase sometimes, or maybe something might change. The environment provides lots of advantages, but also there could be some disadvantages from it. Go somewhere by land, boat, or air. Many different types of vehicles. The game is like Metal Gear Solid 5. Very similar to that game, but this time we're playing co-op. So now we're going to be basically playing Metal Gear Solid 5, but we're going to be working with our friends. I guess some of you might not like that statement, but I made it, so fuck you. The game is so unique and has the amount of love and detail put into it that I must recommend the game to anyone looking for the joy and love of gaming back into their lives. Or really anyone, just because this game is what the community needs and deserves. A beautiful game that takes skill and teamwork that you can do with or without your friends.
right, let's see what's in this big building. Okay, I got him. Red gloves, gas mask. He's got guards with him.
Got it.
Getting old on our list, next is God of War. And why I say that is because Kratos is now an old man. And not even that, he also has a son. If for those of you who don't know, God of War 3 actually was the first game I covered on my channel. It was a really simple video. I just put up some information about pre-order. So you could guess I am a pretty big fan of God of War. God of War seems to move into the Norse mythology with Kratos still in the universe. The period of time is said to be when the Norse gods walked the earth, like Odin and Loki and Thor. We're not sure if Kratos or his son will be the main character in this game, but from what we saw, the player plays Kratos mostly. The story and the gameplay captured me in an instant, with it being very emotional and left me curious for more, because for each moment I watched, the story unfolding between Kratos and his son, it just grew on more and more, but from what we have seen, it's just a totally different style. But still, the graphics are godly. The thing that really changed was the camera angle. I noticed that it was weird. It was like The Last of Us, actually. Even the way Kratos, the old man, and his young son are together reminded me of The Last of Us, like Joel and Ellie. I mean, it just seems so similar. It's an old man with a young kid traveling. Just for the record, I knew all along that actually God of War would eventually move into a different mythology, particularly Norse, thanks to a special feature I received from buying the Pandora's edition of God of War 3. It showed the original creator, David Jaffe, and I really do apologize if I didn't pronounce his name right, talks about what he wanted for Kratos in the future installments, to move on to other mythologies. He would actually go on to different mythologies and kill gods. At the same time, I can't say that this still didn't surprise me. It really did, because it just threw me off guard, especially it being like the first reveal at E3. Also, did you see that dragon at the end? I mean, that was just, oh my god. I'm excited, man. Anyways, I'm curious about what you God of War fans or just new fresh eyes to the series think of this, so let me know, because personally I'm very satisfied, but I can see why maybe some people might not like this. But heck, give it a try when it comes out in 2017. And now, here's our honorable mentions. Whether the game was just too new and didn't provide us enough information to talk about, or we just said fuck it, and guess what? Fuck top 10 videos, and I'm going to put this game in anyway because I really liked it. Resident Evil 7 with the demo live on PlayStation. Go check that out for yourself. Definitely really cool to see that. It's also going to be all in VR, so that's great to see. Kojima's new IP, which is Kojima's Productions' first new game. And it looks amazing, with Norman Reedus back in another Kojima game, even though the last game, PT, didn't work out. Hashtag fuck Konami. And it looks very interesting. Not too much on it yet, but it seems to have a lot of mysterious things about it, and I'm just dying to find out what they mean. From the baby connected to an umbilical cord connected to Norman Reedus, then the dead sea life due to what looks like an oil spill, and then 5 floating figures, this game makes me want to know what's going on. I am so interested in this. Really should be on the top of my list, but perhaps next E3, because we really didn't get that much information on it. I'm sure Kojima somewhere talked about it. I'm definitely going to look into it, but man oh man, it's just so weird, and that's why I love Kojima, and I don't know, we're going to just have to see what else he comes out with. Quake is their next game, and my friend seems to be really stoked about it, and I'm really curious myself, because it looks like Overwatch mixed with Doom or Gears of War, which is really cool, I think. Speaking of Gears, that's cool. Never played Gears, but I'll buy, the whole, series just to try it out and give this new one a try, because it seems like there's a big following for it, just like me with God of War. Zelda is also another game which is on the Wii, and it was really interesting with its amiibo idea. You were able to put amiibos into the game, and it reminded me of the Skyrim mod where it turned Skyrim into a Disney or Pixar movie, which I'm sure you heard it before, but it really did. And I haven't played Zelda since Ocarina of Time on my Nintendo 64. So it'd be great to see what they've done. I just will literally not be able to pay for an electric bill to run these games because I'll have to buy new consoles and games. God, I don't know what I'm going to do. For Honor is another game that surprised me, and it also had single player, which is, made me really happy because, so many games these days and age, like I said before, don't put single player in their games anymore. They just put multiplayer for replay value reasons. But in reality, it's always nice to establish a universe with people that you can love and come back to and then enjoy multiplayer on top of it. Even though there's nothing really wrong with just doing multiplayer, this is just huge. It's a good thing. Next, and finally, Final Fantasy looks very cool. I still think the game was clunky from the demo, but they really put a lot of work and money into it, and they're even including VR, so I gotta give them props because the game does look great. And also, lots of VR games. I'm seeing tons of them on the PlayStation especially. So, shout out to those. And man, oh man, it's been hell of a E3. Anyways, oh my god, that was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next, I'll talk about games that weren't shown at the press conference. So, even though I showed all the games at the actual press conferences, like you saw on the stage, I'm going to talk about games that were, talked about at E3, but you just didn't see them so mainstream. Anyways, I'm going to give them a little, light to shine in. So, besides that, give us a like if you had fun and learned something new today. And subscribe for more awesome content. And have a great day. Peace out.